Warm welcome to my channel, Dr. Rebecca. It's pleasure to have you here.
Answer.
Sorry?
What what questions can I answer for you today?
Yeah, sure. First of all, I would like to introduce to my audience about Dr. Rebecca. She is a chairman, educator, lecturer, and curriculum developer. She has been educator for many years. She has taught in kindergarten, schools, and universities, and she's a teacher's trainer nowadays, if I'm not mistaken. You train teachers, and behind
I
every
do.
successful man, there is a woman. But in Dr. Rebecca's case, there is her children and her husband. So we're gonna learn a lot from her, and we're gonna learn the story of hers. So, Dr. Rebecca, once again, a warm welcome to my channel.
Thank you. It's a
Um,
pleasure to be here.
about the work of yours.
Oh, the work of mine. Like you had mentioned, I do a couple of different things. Um, my main career focus has been uh, recent years, teaching college. I train educators, so if you go to college to be a teacher, I'm your professor. I also give workshops online. Um, in person, whatever I can do. I love what I do. So every opportunity I have, that's what I'm doing. Um, I also am a chair of a not-for-profit, Reynolds Provisions, and we do a couple of different things in the education area with Reynolds Provisions.
Yeah,
So career-wise, that's my main focus.
mm, got it. And what inspired you to start this NGO, uh, Rebecca?
Um, well, a couple of things. I've through the years, teaching every grade level, I've discovered that there are a lot of things missing from the education system, and not just in the US. I train internationally as well, so I've done a lot of traveling. Um, and it seems like these areas are missing everywhere.
Okay.
At least I haven't found a place that they're not missing in. So I like to fill gaps
Mm,
and things that I see that are missing. Um, so that's a big reason why I started the work of Reynolds Provisions. Um, so with that said, I had been doing the actual work for 10, 12 years. We've only been a not-for-profit for the last two.
okay.
Um, I had people donating things and money so that I could do all of my varied activities. Um, but they weren't getting any benefit from it themselves. And because we weren't incorporated, we weren't allowed to bring in grant funding and things like that. So that's how we decided to become incorporated. Um, the final thing that hit hard was watching hurricanes and war just demolish schools and kill and hurt children. And then I became more acquainted with the issues of children being trafficked. And it just, I can't sit still and just watch all this. I have to do something about it.
Even like prior to podcast when we talked about this, I was quite blown away by the fact that because for us, for the outsiders, we feel like that American dream that everything is flawless when it comes to America. But I want to tell my viewers that Dr. Rebecca is from Chicago, and the issue of trafficking, she's referring to that part, that city where it happens, right, in Chicago.
Yeah, actually there's a span of space. Like the people I'm working with call it the hub. Um, it's a place of activity where the majority of children being trafficked happen between Chicago and Milwaukee. Um, and it's incredible what these people do. So if when trafficked children are found, They are brought to this organization and cared for until their parents are found. So Reynolds Provisions connected with them, so we help provide packages that help their social emotional development and mental health. It's simple things that people just pass up and don't even consider. A simple gift of a bag with a blanket, a book, and a teddy bear go a long way with helping a child in their emotional health. So that's Reynolds Provisions part is the social emotional health of it. So we do that, and we train teachers on social emotional and mental health, because a lot of teachers don't understand it. You know, if you have a child throwing a temper tantrum in your classroom and you have a classroom 25 to 30 children, what do you do to handle it? Right?
Yeah.
So while I was growing up, the thing was to discipline the child. But you don't know what's causing that temper tantrum. They could be going through some kind of trauma and you're just making it worse. So educating the teachers and the caretakers of these children is a big part of what Reynolds Provisions does.
Yeah, intriguing. And when it comes to children, like even I deal with some children, and nowadays I often see that because of increased usage of mobile phones and doom scrolling and all those kind of things, they are getting what do I call it? Crappy all the time. They are like irritated all the time. So, do you think that's one of the reasons why children behave in such a manner?
Oh, definitely. A child's brain development, the moment you're born, brain development is the fastest it will ever be and ever was. From that point on, it slows down a small amount each day, like minuscule amount. So that when you get older, it starts, it's a lot slower than when you were born. So the younger the children are, the more affected their brain development is. I've seen children on electronics and telephones as young as 1 years old, sometimes even younger. Um, that's really not good for their mental and emotional health at all. Um, Quite literally, your behavior and your environment become part of your DNA.
Mhm.
To very simplify one of my lectures. Um, so when you're giving a young child a mobile phone to keep them busy and occupied, you're actually impacting their intelligence level, their cognitive development, their emotional development. Um, so you need to be very careful what you put on those screens in front of them. And the amount of time you give them on those screens is important.
And Rebecca, as you have your hands in multiple pies, you are doing a lot of things at a time. How do you balance work-life balance?
Well, basically, when I decided to become college faculty, um, I should have put more thought into it or had asked more advice. What I did not know at the time was every department has one or two full-time faculty,
Okay.
leaving 98% of college faculty are part-time. Had I known that ahead of time, I might have taken a different path. So basically what I started doing was filling in my own gaps. I have one college I'll teach 3 classes, another college I'll teach 3 more, and so on, and I keep building it up so that thankfully it's stuff that I enjoy, but I keep filling up the spaces, simply put, to pay my bills. So I became accustomed to it. And having all those different avenues of reaching out, helping, paying my own bills, it actually became a lifestyle for me. Um, I don't know how to do it any other way now. I don't know what I would do if I had just one place to go. Um, Perhaps someday I'll find that one place, but for right now, the balance is actually part of the joy for me.
And in the light of what you're saying, like the career of yours, I guess your children and your husband played a huge role in that, right?
Most definitely. When my husband and I got married, I had three children. My husband had three children, and then we have one together. So altogether, we have seven children. And the majority of our children were preteen, 10, 11, 12 years old at the time. So we still had quite many years with them, raising them together. Um, so all seven of them, I would go through this routine. Every time I tried to figure out where they were, I would start with the oldest. Okay, she's here, he's there, she's here. And I'd count down to make sure I knew where every child was on a regular basis. And while we were raising them is when I got my education, and I was also working full time. At the time, I was uh, teaching in some capacity, depending on their age group and
Wow.
where they were in their development.
Intriguing. And what kind of things do you like to do in your downtime?
My downtime,
Yeah.
um, in my downtime, I watch a lot of Netflix with my husband. Um, Other than that, I for my Reynolds provisions, I will crochet blankets or quilt. I make a lot of the blankets myself that we give away.
Intriguing. And you deal with a lot of children, right? Because of your foundation, you have to always on regular basis you have to deal with a lot of children, and the children who are traumatized. So how do you deal with that? Like how do you make them uh, into the normal state again?
Um, that I don't have the ability to follow each child through their path to stability. Um, Sometimes I wish I did, so that I could at least see if Reynolds Provisions is having an impact. We're still fairly new, and I haven't had the ability to follow the children through. I'm just filling a gap um, to help those who are dealing with the children. Um, I'm sorry, I don't. I kind of lost track of your question.
Yeah, it's all right. It's all right. You lost the train of thoughts. Not an issue. I was, yeah. The next question I want to ask you is, when I lost the train of thoughts. Wait.
I'm so glad I'm not the only one that does that. I blame it on my age.
Oh, it's all right. Uh, yeah, the concept of AI. I guess nowadays students rely mostly on AI, be it like in any context. So, do you think that eventually it's going to hinder the creativity of students?
Yeah, AI has really changed the face of education, at least here in the States. Um, we now have programs that will find it in the papers that we're grading. So now when I grade a paper that I suspect AI had a hand in, I will upload it into this program and find out the percentage rate of what percentage is it possibility AI drafted. Um, Not only do I do that, but the first day of class now, during class, I have my students write in their handwriting a paragraph about themselves. Then I take that and I compare their writing skills with their papers.
Okay.
And if I see a slow progression of improvement, fantastic. If I see an automatic improvement, we're having a discussion. The idea of AI doing the work for the students, that's only going to hurt them in the long run. I'm training educators, right? So they need to be able to understand the theories how to apply them to the classrooms, how to do their curriculums correctly, how to assess the children's behaviors. If AI is writing all their papers and answering all their questions, they won't be able to do that. They won't be successful in a classroom. They won't be able to hold a job. So I'm trying to instill in them that they have to do the work themselves. It's becoming more and more of a challenge.
And Rebecca, like from your years and years of experience, and you have seen a life a lot. So, if you had to give advice to young people who are watching this, video of us, podcast of us, what sort of advice would you like to give?
Um, for educators specifically, or for
Well,
anybody in general?
in general, to youngsters, like as you deal with a lot of youngsters, what sort of advice would you like to give in general, I guess?
I guess the best advice I could give is don't doubt yourself.
Oh, okay.
Um, People around you might tell you you're not able. Do your best to ignore it. That is something I grew up with. Um, my dad's generation, women were in the household, women didn't hold a job, women weren't able. Um, so I grew up with the values of women just weren't as important as men. Um, don't let people devalue you. Do your best to be who you want to be. I was told by several that I would not be able to be a teacher because only smart people can be a teacher. Um, when I graduated with my doctorate, I photocopied it and sent a copy of it to those people.
Well,
So my best advice based on my own experiences, don't let people bring you down. Work hard to get where you want to be.
hmm, intriguing. Wow. I like the fact that you photocopied and shared it to the people who doubted you. There you go. Yes, my God. Nice. That's really inspiring, I would say that. And even at right now also, like you are not resting on your laurels. Like, what's the driving force that you are so motivated, and as of now also you are doing all those things?
Um, I, I don't know if religion can be brought up in here, but God has a lot to do with my driving force. That and the relationship I have with my husband, he's incredibly encouraging. Um, I don't know where I'd be without him. I don't want to imagine myself without him.
Wow, nice, intriguing. And I guess we also talked about cultural difference. How do you teach students the cultural difference? As America is a diverse country, a lot of people are there. So how do you manage that thing?
Um, I ask questions. I bring up conversations. So, for example, I have in a current class I'm teaching this summer, I have several Mexican students and several Puerto Rican students in my class. I have one student from India. So I ask them questions. Um, what's I noticed during this class that my Puerto Rican students were saying something specific, and my Mexican students were saying the same thing but using different terminology. So I asked them why the differences, and they were more than happy to explain it to me. I find that they feel more appreciated about who they are when it's in the conversation. And I remind them that their backgrounds are valuable. They'll be able to their future students, they're going to be able to help their future students because of their own personal experiences of coming from a different culture. I also do a lot of cultural activities. assignments and discussions in the class.
Really? Wow. And as you train a lot of teachers, what are some of the things that teachers don't know in general? And like the teachers who are watching this podcast, you can tell it to them.
Um, be patient with yourself. Just take a breath. There are going to be days where you're going to walk out going, "What did I just do to myself? Why am I here?" And then there are going to be days that you're jumping up and down with joy of elation of what you've been able to, the success that you've had with your students. Just those down days, don't give up. Um, find the gaps, fill those gaps. Teamwork with your fellow educators as much as possible. It needs to be a community to create success. One person alone can't do it. It has to be the administrators, the educators, the community around the school, the parents, even the janitors. Everyone is involved in the children's education. You should work together.
And when it comes to your foundation, Reynolds Foundation, as of now, I guess you're giving blankets, you are giving toys and stuffed animals. But do you want to expand it in the future, or do you like what's your plan with this foundation?
Oh, yeah, we do want to expand. We started when we started it with teacher training, because I was already training teachers, so it was an easy way to start. So we sponsor over 300 schools internationally where we're training their teaching staff. We create webinars and things of this nature. I've done a little bit of traveling to train teachers. I've been to Asia a couple times, Vietnam, Istanbul.
Wow.
So it's very valuable. What we train with our educators include the emotional development, cognitive development, basic child development. It's where the teachers we train, most of them have no access to an education themselves. So they're trying to be educators without being educated.
Yeah.
So quite a few of our teachers in Africa, they are trained hairdressers because that's the only training that's available to them. So they go. So they're very appreciative of the education they're getting. I try to send them things like computers, like laptops and thumb drives of trainings because a lot of them don't have access to the internet.
Oh.
So with thumb drives or computers with the trainings already in the hard drive, it makes it very easy for them to access. And then the third thing that we're hoping to get off the ground within the next year or so is our sustainability pillar. What we want to do with that is we want to help students be educated on sustainability construction. So we're trying to partner with construction companies so that we can put together the companies with the students so that they can create internships. And if you put it all together, the teacher training is here and now, right? It's preparing their students for the future. Social emotional development is here and now so that they're okay in the future. Sustainability is the future. So we're hoping to develop these three core principles so that our children have a future.
Being a teacher myself, Rebecca, if I tell you honestly, I'm concerned about AI. Like I often see that now AI is snatching away most of the jobs. So I feel like what if AI can become the teacher itself? Do you think that's the possibility of the future where there won't be a need of any teachers? AI can do all the things.
I believe that some schools and countries will try. I believe they will try. Um, the push for social emotional development, you can't really teach how to hug a computer. Um, what we know about brain development, that human touch, it's needed for
Right.
healthy human development. Scientists know this, educators know this. Um, we need to educate our governments on it, quite frankly. Um, and if a few people in the government know, not enough of them do. It's not, the knowledge isn't being thrown out there. Without human contact, um, it'll be attempted, but it won't be successful,
Hmm.
which is sad for our children who will be experiencing that. I mean, AI is a fantastic tool.
Yeah, it
I
is.
use it myself for many things, and I actually started teaching my students how to use it correctly. For example, I have one assignment now where they have to turn in two versions of the same assignment, their own written version and an AI corrected version.
Okay.
I'm trying to teach them to have their own voice. AI is not their voice, but AI can be used for correcting your paper's errors. Obviously it can be used for so much more, but I'm showing them the simplicity of it.
Oh, all right. And on that note, Dr. Rebecca, I guess I won't hold you any longer. Thank you for your time. I really appreciate it, and it means a lot to me. And we're gonna catch up soon in the future. In the meantime, take care of yourself, and thank you for being a guest on my podcast.
Such a pleasure. Thank you so much for inviting me, Janelle. It was a pleasure.